welcome back to the Jeep Journals. I've been gone from this platform for some time, and today I wanted to multitask. I've got some birthday celebrations that I want to participate in, and that's partly why I'm making this video. I've got some topics that I'd like to discuss, which is why you see this piece of errant debris hanging over my head, as I'm sure it's hanging over many of our heads. And at the same time, I'm trying to capture some audio to go with these scenes that you're watching. If you're watching this video where you actually see me talking, well, congratulations. This is something that I haven't shared with everybody just yet. And happy birthday if it happens to be your birthday. What I would like to do is try and interpret a piece of music called Knocking on Heaven's Door. In this piece of music, the lyrics that are used say, "Mama, take this badge from me. I can't use it anymore." And I believe what it's talking about is that there was a person who felt a great deal of irresponsibility in taking actions behind the badge that they were wearing, and they didn't want to use it anymore. And even the guns that they had, they wanted to put the guns down because there was something that didn't go right. And this conversation that's happening is between the singer and their mother, and it's a song, so obviously it's the singer, but the conversation that's happening is between a person and their mother, and they're saying with a heavy heart what's going on. Well, recently I got to visit the Big Bend State Park region, and with a heavy heart, I've got to say there were some things that I saw that seemed almost insurmountable, because no matter where it is that we go, we can find errant rubbish that has blown miles and miles away into the middle of the most remote wilderness areas that we can imagine. And so I had a discussion with one of my friends while we were there about this piece of rubbish, about the Mylar balloon, I guess is what it's called. And this particular balloon is shaped in the shape of a bone, so I guess somebody got it for their canine's birthday. We all probably have celebrated so many things, and again, this video is talking about birthdays today, and I want to bring to attention that some of the things that we're just mindlessly purchasing are in fact rubbish from the start. So for an example, this balloon cost an amount of money, it had an amount of resources in it, and somebody celebrated with it, but then at some point it blew off into the wild wonders of West Texas. And there it was, hanging on a creosote bush, tangled in the shrub, and it was gleaming, a gleaming beacon of the opposite of hope for miles and miles. And while I saw this thing gleaming, I kind of theorized what it was, and I talked with my counterpart who was there with me about what it could be. And I also discussed the fact that these items perhaps should not be sold anymore. And the person I was talking with said, well, the only thing is that you would be taking away someone's freedom to celebrate in that manner. And my rebuttal was that we all know that things like that balloon above me are garbage. And so as these things are let go and thrown away, even if they make it to the landfills, they're pieces of debris that are continuously being pumped into the veins of our ecosystems. So in a way, if I were working in a balloon factory, I would probably change the lyrics to "Mama, take these balloons from me. I can't use them anymore." You know, something like that. it's like the tools that we're using to further our experiences, especially those experiences of celebration, sometimes are not as kind as they could be. So with that in mind and with that sentiment in your heart, I hope that you're able to hear this song. I hope you're having a wonderful day, whether it's your birthday or not. If it is, again, happy birthday. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all the shares that have been happening. I recently shared a video with just some friends and family, and they shared that video on their own social platforms, and the video received over 100 views before it became public. And so this is why I ask politely for people to share the content that they find agreeable. Some of these topics are very dense. They're hard to digest if we are not prepared to accept responsibility for some of the things that we are actively participating in. But at the same time, when you pair it to music and with an active, open communication with more than one person, we have the opportunity to learn something together. So without further delay, let's get into the song, and I hope you're appreciating everything that you're seeing. This is a journey that has not been endeavored, I don't think, before on such a small, gigantic scale. So Mama, take this badge from me. I can't use it anymore. That cold black cloud is coming down. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns to the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. I don't know that I got the lyrics in the right order for that song. I know that the sentiment is the same no matter what order I put the lyrics in. I know that some people discount the song because it talks about a cold black cloud coming down, feeling like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Well, I've got to say, in a lot of ways, when I see the debris scattered about these remote wilderness areas, both in my own state and in any other location that I find this rubbish, it feels kind of like a cold black cloud coming down. It's the opposite of hope. So what I'm trying to do is show these things in a way where we can consider what we're doing going forward and maybe have some hope that that we can do something differently. And I'm not quite sure what it's going to take to reverse the damages of all of our fathers, except for maybe to actively participate with our fathers. And by that, I mean that dynamically. You know, maybe we consider certain things in a way where we're able to bring opportunities to do something new. And the only way we can do that is by having conversations. So again, communication is key. This channel, I'm broadcasting it in one language. Hopefully someone else gets an idea and can broadcast it in a new language or a new style that helps us to recognize that less is more. I'm not the shining example of having the least or doing with the least, but I know that we can do without. You know, I've done without everything from going out and making additional purchases when my body doesn't fit the clothes that I have, to going without different foods for periods of time. In fact, this is being recorded right now during a period here called Lent. And in the good books that we practiced or preached here in this country where I live, Lent was oftentimes referred to as a period of foregoing something to remember something else. And sometimes I think that we do need to go without in order to remember something else. But with all that's going on in today's world, sometimes it's very difficult to concentrate on the task at hand. And to me, the task at hand is that we're trying to help one another to recognize that there are things that we can do better. Whether we take these things as criticisms or as things that we can take to the bank, for an example, is typically up to ourselves. And so with that in mind, I made a song that I called Slower. And the reason I called it Slower is because many of us are in such a hurry that we can't seem to take things slower. Like, for an example, for you hearing this whole story as you're watching the content that's being showcased, some of you might be able to concentrate and focus on this information, and you probably are aware, maybe even painfully aware, that some of us have extreme difficulties concentrating for long enough to hear an overall message. So this song is called Slower. And the reason that it's called Slower and the words that it has, I'd like to take things a little slower, but then would you take the time to know me at all? In some particular cases, without really giving people an explosion of entertainment or some kind of shiny object right off the bat to keep their attention. In some cases, we lose the attention of that companionship that we once had, whether it's in the form of friendship, love, a pet, you know, all kinds of things can happen to distract our attention. But when you have a true bond, your pet, your love, your friendship will always return back to the source of compassion. So in this channel, what we talk about is compassion and love and being aware of things. And so in this instance, I hope that this song resonates with you. Again, it's called Slower. as a surprise birthday error, I believe I played the wrong intro, and so everything you heard was actually for a different song. Called Anyway. This song is called Slower. Let me play it the right way for you, and I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you for watching along as I make all my mistakes live for your own viewing entertainment. Happy birthday. These are gifts to you. I'd like to take things a little slower, but then would you take the time to know me at all? Would you pretend that you didn't know her? And can we withstand another fall? I make my way through the emotions, still playing with the ones I've got, and I'd like to make love before it's all over, instead of the wars that we've long forgotten. You seem to think that when this is all over, we'll walk away with the things we had. But the burden of time is inside now. And have you heard yet from our dad? Father. I'd like to think that you didn't know her, but there she is, just as plain as day. And I'd like to think that when this is all over, we'll have the time to practice what we pray. I'd like to take things a little slower, but then would you take the time to know me at all? Would you pretend that you didn't know her? And can we withstand another So there you have it. A couple of songs for a couple of birthdays, actually. I hope that you have more than a couple of dreams come true. I hope that all of everything that you set out to do is something that you can accomplish. I hope that you're not feeling like you are overwhelmed. You know, it could be overwhelming to see all the garbage that's out there, possibly including this very presentation, if that's what you equate this to. But at the same time, in even the rubbish that we have gems, we have resources, and we have opportunities to find joy. So more than anything, I hope that you've received some joy. I'm sending out joy in this segment. I hope that you've received plenty of joy and that your opportunities are bountiful and that your peace is priceless. You know, peace is part of health. Health is wealth. And so I hope that your peace is abundant. I hope that your health is abundant. I hope that your wealth is abundant. It's all really the same thing. I hope that you have an abundant lifestyle. And if you don't, I hope that you're able to look beyond the sparkling rubbish that's in the desert and really enjoy the journey itself, where we're able to communicate these insights back and forth among one another in the hopes of bringing peace to ourselves. And as we bring peace to ourselves, then that peace can be shared outwardly, and maybe we can even bring peace to humanity if we try hard enough. Maybe if we sing loud enough, we'll be able to do that. So until next time, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you have an amazing birthday, whenever that might be. And till then, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.